buah sayur jagung manis. Good job. Yay! Clever girl. Yay! 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 Good girl.
Hi guys, the first dish I'm doing is the ayam masak kicap with nanas. So basically chicken with pineapple. Just add a bit of olive oil. Turn up the heat slightly. I'm using a bowl. You can use a frying pan if you want to. First we fry up the garlic. After garlic, we quickly add onion. Okay, so about a few minutes just to get the onions a bit translucent. Put the chicken in. This is my wife's late grandfather's recipe. This is what they cook in Kampong in Sarawak. after putting the onion and the garlic in, I'm frying the chicken up now. It's been about 5 minutes. The next step is usually putting the soy sauce in, which is the one. This is the one we use. At this stage, I'm not putting it in because Olive, my little girl, is allergic to soy sauce, and we want her to have a little bit before we eat. So I'll put soy sauce at the last stage. So at this point, I will add some water just to cover the chicken up. Give it a bit of a stir. Let's make sure it's fully covered. We'll let it cook for a while, approximately 20 to half an hour, just to get the flavor out of the chicken. Okay, so while the chicken is cooking, we're gonna make sambal manga, which is in English mango sambal. So I'll grab one of our chilies that we got growing outside our backyard for that, and I'll see you. So we're back in the kitchen. We're making the mango sambal. So a couple of ingredients: the chili that I grabbed from the backyard, and the belacan, or in English shrimp paste. You can find in either Asian supermarket or an Asian section in a general supermarket. So all I'm going to do is just do it the old way. Guys, I have put one of the main ingredients, mango, in. Now I'm putting the chili and shrimp paste combined. And I'm going to mix it all up. By the way, you have to use a green mango. The sour the better. Salt. Okay, so basically this is what it looks like, and this is the my wife's late grandfather's recipe that they used to make in kampong in the village. Also they used to add anchovies in it, which we haven't added this time, but you can use that as a combination. So the chicken's been simmering for about 20 minutes. We're now going to add the pineapple and a bit of salt. A bit of salt. Stir. So we finished stirring it. We'll put it for another 10 minutes or so, just to get the juices out of pineapple. Okay, so the last dish we're making is called Changkok manis in kampong, or otherwise sweet leaves with ikan bilis. First we fry the garlic. The sweet leaves usually grow everywhere in kampong, very easy to find just outside the kampong house. However, in Melbourne they're pretty rare to find and pretty expensive. We get ours from High Point, but you can also find them in any sort of Asian veggie shop. Okay, so we frying the garlic first. There's not really time limit on these things. Just as soon as you smell the fragrance and can smell the garlic smell, put the ikan bilis in. And you make sure you fry it up so the ikan bilis is a bit crispy before you put the sweet leaves in. So now go in the sweet leaves. These are the leaves that you saw Ivan and Olive pull apart. They're very easy to take off the stems. You just have to run your finger on it. And we just keep stirring for 5 minutes or so until it gets soft. You don't want to overcook it. You want the fragrance still to be in the leaf. And you cook it on low fire because you don't want to burn the leaves either. If you feel sometimes your leaves are a bit too dry, you can add just a sprinkle of water just to keep them nice and moist. But we just wash our ones, so there's a bit of water in it already, so we're just frying them. I'm gonna add a bit of salt now, not too much, and just continue stirring. As you can see, it's reducing in volume. It's becoming a little bit more sticky. It's been about 10 minutes or so. Gotta keep stirring it, you can't let it fry. Okay, so the leaves is finished cooking now. I'm switching off the fire. If you're not sure, you can always give it a bit of a try to see if the salt is enough and whether the texture is right. But usually around 5 minutes, 6 minutes max. Shouldn't take longer than this. Hey guys, so that's what it looks like without soy sauce. As I gotta put some for my princess before we put the soy sauce in. She's hungry. Hey guys, so I put some for my baby girl. So now adding a little bit of soy sauce. Just a tiny bit for flavor and color. I have tried it out and the soup has turned out really nice and sweet, just the way it's supposed to be. So as I said, this is my wife's late grandfather's recipe from Kampong. Basically here you got yam masak ketchup with nanas. Here's the sweet leaves with ikan bilis, and here's the mango sambal. All three are easy to make. We've used all the fresh ingredients, or the freshest we could find, and I would recommend you do so too. Free-range chicken with free of antibiotics and everything else. Leaves fresh off the shelf, and as well as mango as well in season. So yeah, you'll get the best flavor. So in kampong they usually use a one of those green mangoes that is extremely sour, and it's absolutely wonderful. Within Melbourne it was hard to find that type of mango, but I'm sure we'll find it one day. With the sweet leaf recipe, actually this is the next there's another version of this, which is the one with the pumpkin and coconut milk. This is that one is most of my favorite one, and this is a more simpler version.
Barbecue recipe.
So yeah. Hey guys, so as I said, there's two versions of this. One is with the pumpkin and the coconut milk, which is my favorite, and a bit more complicated version. Stay tuned, and we shall make another one with the pumpkin and the coconut milk for you next time.
Hai semua, saya makan makanan kampung. Sedap, sedap.
Oh, is it on there?
No.
Not. Yummy?